Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sunesha, and we're gonna play this war of mine. And so this is an interesting game because I'm gonna tell you why I think it is interesting. We will not dwell too much on these details here, but this game is different in this way because we are actually civilians in a game. We are civilians in a war zones. Usually are soldiers or special soldiers or spies or anything other than just civilians that try to survive a war. So yeah, so this is a completely different approach to war, I guess, or a war game. So this is more as a survival game. I played this game built here. I've beaten the game here with these guys here, and I'm gonna use them again just because I know that I can beat the game as those guys. We're gonna have an anniversary edition mode activated here, and so with this option enabled, you can be sure you will be playing the content of the anniversary edition, including new locations, new characters and new endings. Otherwise it will be included as at random. So yeah, we want that kind of stuff there. So we're gonna play with these three guys here. So let's start. So this is day one. I will release an episode for every day, and I will release an episode every day on my channel, so you can follow me in this game here. It can be quite a long series for me, but I think you will enjoy it. At least I will enjoy it, so that is the most important thing. Otherwise, I will never do a series on this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we have our three guys here. We have Pavle, he's a very fast runner, the fastest runner in the game. We have Bruno here, he's a good cook. That means we will use less ingredients to make the same amount of food. And we have Marko, and what's special about Marko is that his backpack, he can carry the most. He's a very good scavenger, he loots faster than anyone else in the game, and he can carry the most stuff. About one guy, I think his name Boris, but we maybe will meet him or maybe not. Okay, how long has this siege lasted? It's hard to say when every day is a struggle for survival. The city is crawling with snipers. Shelling is ordinary business almost every night. Phone doesn't work. There is shortage of food and meds, and many people are left homeless. Bruno and Marko have always been good friends, so when the war broke out, they decided to stick together. They met Pavle while scavenging for supplies. He used to be a Pogoren star football player, which explains why he is a fast runner. Now he is just another homeless victim of war, so they teamed up, hoping for the best. So there we have our good guys here. Here in the beginning of the game is quite a hectic here because we want to get as much possible loot we can get from our shelter here. So all the guys have met here at the shelter, so now we are kind of trying to look for useful things here. I will send Marko here. Marko is slightly sick, so okay, we will take it off a while there. Marko is slightly sick. That means a good thing for us will be to get some medicines. That will better his recovery time, so it will go a lot faster. So here we have components, the most important thing in the game, almost as important as food, of course. If we don't have food we can't build stuff, but for building components are very important. Then we have wood, it's also a very important thing to have, but it takes a lot of room to get, so but it's important to build almost everything. And we have an electric part here too, which it can be useful for some parts. So yeah, so I'm sending everyone here looting stuff left and right here, so we can get more. Hopefully we get useful stuff here. For example, we have found some meat here. The good thing about the meat here is that we can cook it, and we don't want to eat it raw. We can do it if we are desperate, but we can make that into a meal, so that is awesome. I will not feed my guys every day. I will feed them every uneven day. So day 3 will be our first meal here. So the guys have to go hungry for a couple of days. So we found some more food, and we have another building material here for some more advanced building. We need gears and stuff. So cool. Let's see. I need to slow down here. I'm talking very fast. Is a thing is a flaw I have. I think I must think slower because I think very fast. So here we have found some water here. This water is very important also because we use it for making. We can make moonshine. Then we need water. We also need it for cooking. Okay, so I've sent one of the guys. Oh, there is so much stuff going on here. So more gears, more electric part, more herbs. Herbs can actually turn into cigarettes or medicine. We can have herbal medicines. It's not as effective as standard medicine, but is a lot easier to get a hold of. Okay, so here we have, that means that we can use a lockpick to open that door, but we can create a crowbar. You know what a crowbar is, you break up stuff, you can break up stuff, so we don't need to use a lockpick. But a crowbar is a noisy thing, and it's a noisy thing in this game, so a lockpick can be very good when we are out scavenging, because then we can use a lockpick because it doesn't make sound here. So the first thing I want to do in our workshop, so one of our guys can actually rest while we are here. I will make a bed. They can actually sleep without owning a bed here, but that will... I'm just checking here on our shelter. I never have this shelter before, so I'm a little bit stumped where I should put our bed here. Can we put it here somewhere? No. I'm looking for a place to put it. So let's put it here, right beside. In my experience, it's smarter to put your bed around places where you often are, so they don't have to run very far. It will always save time here. So here, let's see. I forgot my train of thoughts. Yeah, we need a bed so they can rest. For example, Pavle, he's slightly wounded. Let's check out Bruno. He's perfectly healthy. Our scavenger here, he's actually slightly sick. That is not a very bad, not super bad. That is slightly sick, but wounded is actually a serious condition. So I'm thinking. When they are slightly sick, it means that there is a good chance that he can recover. So by resting, he will recover a lot faster. Oh, sorry, I sent him back again. Okay, it's running there. Yeah, there is a lot of information. I will try to break it down for you guys. Okay, you go load here. And what we really want now, I think one of the... Okay, cool. We found more stuff there. Thank you. Let's send Marko here. I want him to build a metal workshop. A metal workshop is what you need to build tools like the crowbar or a shovel or anything, or a weapon even. So we will build that there, so we can get make tools when we need it. Okay, Bruno, he can go up here. Yeah, so I'm trying to get as much stuff made as possible on the first day, and the day part of the game ends at 8 o'clock, so I'm being most effective this first day here. So yeah, I think we actually are ahead here. I'm thinking we will just want to make our metal workshop here, so we can make some tools. Our crowbar will change a lot for us here, so I'm thinking we should build one. Homemade tool you can use to pry open a few doors before it breaks. It does the job slowly and loudly, like I said. Yeah, so let's make one of those. That means that we can open this place without using one of our lock picks. Okay, so we don't have anything useful for Bruno to do here, so I'm thinking we should actually send him to just start digging on that pile of rubble there. So, because there is some stuff behind there, we need to go through the door there, it's the same thing there, so... And tools while you are inside of your shelter, they actually teleport to the guy, so even but you can of course not use, two people can't use the same crowbar at the same time of course, but otherwise you don't have to go fetch it or anything. So let's break this up here and see if we find something useful. As you can see, while he's sleeping, he's recovering there, but it goes very slow. It goes a lot faster when you find some bandages here, so let's see what we find in here. We found some more waters. Books are a good thing to have. I'm gonna explain why. The guys, when they have nothing useful to do, they sometimes sit on this chair and read those books, and that makes the guys a little bit more happy. So he can go break in there at the same, so we can open up that. I think we are having a very productive day here in the shelter at least. There are just a lot of concepts I'm trying to explain for you guys and say, maybe I should space it out a bit, but no, I will try to explain things while we encounter them for the first time. So yeah, there is a lot of information for this first day as this is... Okay, so he has opened that door. Let's go open that one then. Okay, you are done there, so you go fix that door. So 8 o'clock, the night part of the game starts. You can't go out and scavenge at the daytime because there is a full war going on, so you will die. So yeah, that's why we are going scavenging at the night time. So we got more herbs here, and this is a good object here, and I'm gonna explain why. This is nothing you need for building stuff, but it's actually a good part because it's a quite valuable thing to have when you trade with other people in the game. So it's a trade item, so you need it for building, so that's good because we can exchange it for building materials if we need it. Okay, so let's see. Let's go with you instead. Yeah, so running around in this game, it doesn't affect them even though they are sick, so you don't have to worry about that you're making things worse. You don't make things worse by running around. It's just you can go around slowly if you want to, at least here in the shelter, but it will not affect you guys when they are hurt or so on. So this is an important thing we will build probably in tomorrow's episode because we can't afford it for the moment. But this is a crude stove. It's as simple as they get. Just burn some fuel made up of wood, books or components, and you use some water to cook a meal more nutritious. Yeah, so it's better than eating the things raw. Oh yeah, so we have arrived at night time. So here we have to make some decisions here. We have Pavle. He is slightly wounded, so we will let him stay in the bed. But there is other people scavenging, and they can come to us and try to scavenge our stuff. So I need to put Bruno on guard so they don't steal all our stuff. So we'll go scavenge with Marko here. So let's check out. We have 3 locations here, and it works in such a way so when you visit one of the locations, you will get new location spawning on the map. So that's how you spawn new places to go. So we have a ghost house here. A man who lived there used to give shelter to people in need. He either died or fled after his home has been ravaged by mortar fire. Since then the house stands abandoned and the neighborhood kid says it's haunted. Okay, but I don't think there are any people there, so that could be a good place to go. So let's check the other two places out and see if we can make a decision here. Okay, so here we have another spot, a ruined villa. They say some people still live here against all odds. They must have some supplies stocked, like canned food and possible bandages or medicines, but they don't want to trade. If we are desperate, we could try to steal from them. So we can steal from people here if we decide for it. My stance on stealing in this playthrough will be, as if we don't have other options to get food or anything else, then I will steal or even kill to get to make our guys survive. But if we can survive without resorting to violence or stealing, I will do that. So we have a semi-detached house here. Half of it's a ruin, but there are people living in the other half. They don't seem friendly. At night you can sometimes hear shots fired from there. We could probably scour the abandoned part for supplies if we manage to sneak past the inhabited part. Yeah, so there are some people living here, so there's probably two parts here and they are living in one part, so to get the stuff we can need to sneak here. So for our first night, I think I remember something about the first night actually. They will never raid us in the first night, because that's just how the game works when I started, so I'm gonna cheat a bit. So I will set both of my guys sleeping, so we will go here. So going here, we will take our crowbar with us in case we need to break inside a cabinet or a door or anything like it. So let's go scavenge. Okay, cool. So here we have the place. It's deserted. I don't expect to meet anyone inside. Okay, cool. So I will trust him by that, so we can run around. Once again, we have a time limit. If you don't go home before 5 o'clock in the night, you have to actually go through the whole war zone daytime, so that can lead to very harsh consequences. So if we can avoid doing that, we will do that. So here we see I'm picking up components. As I said, is one of the more important building parts here, but I will pick about 6. The reason why I don't like to pick up wood, I'm going to explain it now, is that it takes a lot of room in your backpack. You can see we can only stack 2 of them in one slot, so I will not take as many. I will not take a lot of wood, because it's smarter to get more valuable things, and then you can you can trade for wood instead, so you don't have to carry it home, because yeah, I can trade for it, so I don't have to. Okay, so here we have a part that is actually not available to us here, because we need a saw blade from a saw to saw through those bars. We don't have that yet, so we will not go down there and look for it. So but that is one of the tools you can make with your metal workshop. Okay, cool here. So I will go with even more components here, because that is what we need to build most of the parts in the game, so it's always good to get as many as possible. But we have a bullet here, but we don't have a gun. So let's get water here. The bullets, you need of course a gun for that, and that is quite rare, especially here in the beginning. So I'd rather use my backpack slots for something more useful right now, as wood or food or something like that. It's awesome that we came in here, because look at this. We have 4 food, so As I told you before, we will feed our guys every uneven day, so we'll not feed them tomorrow on day 2, but on day 3, to conserve the amount of food. But I think we have a very good hold of here. So what I'm clicking at right now are some sugar cubes, and that is very valuable in that way, because if you have water and sugar and something to burn, you can actually make moonshine, and that is one of the most valuable things you can trade with traders. So I usually use it for getting stuff to traders. So we can buy wood instead of that. So that's why. Okay, let's go inside here. We have a crowbar here, so we can break inside here. So hopefully there is something valuable here. Cool. So let's check under the bed. We found some more water. We found some more components. And we found some herbal meds. Simple medication based on herbs. Sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. Yeah, so they are not a sure thing, but I think it can be very good. Because Marko is slightly sick, so that can help him. It actually looks like we need to go here tomorrow, because there was a good amount of loot here that can help us very much here. I see I can't take everything with me in one turn, even that we are using Marko's excellent carrying abilities here. So this round circles indicates that there is something that makes a sound here, but I suspect it is just a rat. And so we don't have to worry. Okay, we have something special here, I believe. So let's see. Okay, we have a lot more stuff here that are useful. This is actually a very important item if you have a smoker. We have a smoker, and Bruno is actually smoking. If he doesn't get to his smokes, he gets cranky. So let's check here. Dear Siberia, just when I managed to reach this country, we thought it to be safe. It too was plunged into war. Don't worry though, I'm fine. I'm write this letter waiting for a man who can smuggle me to safety in his boat. I will then apply for the asylum, and as soon as I can get it, I will bring you there, and we'll be together again. Away from war and misery. Hang on and pray for me. Coffee. Yeah, so one of the things like smoking can make, if the guy doesn't smoke, Bruno doesn't smoke, he will be depressed and he will not be as happy. And that is the same thing if we are killing people, it will make our guys unhappy. If we steal from other people, it will make our guys unhappy. Marko, our scavenger, he's kind of neutral, so he will be unhappy by killing people. We have Bruno, he's a psychopath, so he will not be unhappy so much by killing people. But Pavle, our fast runner, he is really sensitive, so we better not make him cry, because he cries. He probably, yeah, he's a very dark. He gets to a dark place very fast. So we have everything we need here, or everything I wanted to loot this time. But as we are gonna go back once more, I think I will leave the sugar cubes here and bring something else right away instead. So let's get rid of, so we can get some more building materials. Okay, cool. So we have components and other stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna check here first, so I will see what I will fill my slot. So it's always a hard choice what to get, but here in the beginning, building material is probably the most useful here. I'm just gonna check if there is. could get some cigarettes now or the food now because yeah, it would waste the spot anyway. So we get the food. Yeah, let's call it a night. Here is almost 2 o'clock in the evening. And as I said before, we need to be back by 5, but we are full. I don't see anything else we can get right now. So let's go and finish this day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are on day 2, so here is where we will begin tomorrow's episode. So that was everything, my dear friends, and as always, thank you for watching.